evening all. Just moving some bits over. Okay, welcome to my last Wednesday night live before we move to a Tuesday. Just wait for a few people to join. Hello to everyone who's leaving me lovely comments. Thanks so much for joining us. My name's Stacey Marsh. I'm here in the UK and I'm a demonstrator for Stampin' Up. If you're watching on my YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. You can hit subscribe and then you'll receive notifications of future tutorials. Tonight I am going to be playing with a little bit of the Whimsy suite. It won't be too long a video tonight. I've had a few technical difficulties, so we shall see how far we get. I hope you're all having a lovely week. I've been in school today, so I'm quite sleepy. I look really tired, don't I? I fell asleep on the sofa when I got home. Being around people is tiring. I forgot how tiring it is, but I'm loving it. It's really, really nice to be around the children, really nice to be around people, and nice to get out of the house with a purpose. So I won't keep you all too long. Feel free to leave me comments as we go along. I'll try and keep up. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. I hope you're sitting comfortably. You've got a drink. I've got a trusty Ribena this evening. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. We're going to make a Christmas card. And I'm going to use one stamp, I think. So we'll see how we do. So I'm going to flip my camera around and we can get crafting. Right, okay, I'm just going to move this down a little bit, move it up a little bit. Turn my lights on. Right, okay, so for those of you that aren't sure what the Whimsy suite is, the Whimsy in Wonder suite looks like this. You have the Whimsical Tree stamp set, really, really pretty. Whimsy set sort of images, says it, the name says what it is. Really nice images there. You've got some almost like sketch drawn Christmas images that are really, really nice. And then you have this beautiful set of dies that go with it. These are the Christmas trees dies. So I'll just show you what they look like before we make a start. So you've got some lovely outline dies, such as these, that will go around our Christmas trees. We have some detailed dies. So this one here, which is almost like a tinsel design, and then you have these extra ones. So you have some little baubles that go on the trees, you have some stars, you have some more tinsel, you have a nice little ruffled looking Christmas tree, and then you have these really nice kind of traditional looking, some new style Christmas tree. So at the weekend I had my first ever retreat. There will be more, but watch this space for that. This is one of the cards that we made. So this is a card that I designed using the Whimsy designer series papers. I kept it traditional with the colours in the suite. So we've got some Misty Moonlight, some Blushing Bride, and then this lovely mint macaron, and you can see it's got like an iridescent glimmer to it. So it's not silver, it's not gold, it's a nice iridescent. So this card folds out like so, and then it opens like a normal card. So that's one of the cards that I designed for the event. So it's a nice little Z fold card, a Z fronted fold card, and there we have that lovely what do you call it, detailed tinsel, that's it, tinsel die, like so, and I've cut it from the bedazzling paper. So really, really like this bundle. I'm doing a whole class on this suite in November, so keep an eye out for that. But I am going to use this die tonight, and I'm going to use this stamp here. Now, I haven't even attached this stamp to the sheet, and I'm doing really, really well because the sheet that you stick the stamps to has gone walkabout. So we're going to try and do this without it. So normally you would attach the stamp to the label, the sticker. For some reason my sticker sheet has gone wonky, so we're not going to do that. So let's put these to one side now. Okay. So we've got this stamp here and we have this little die, and I'm actually going to do a little bit of watercolouring. I want to create a bit of a watercolour background. I love making watercolour backgrounds. So I'm just going to grab a heat tool. Now unfortunately, as much as I've tried to get myself ready for this evening, I'm still unpacking from the weekend. So I'm just going to get some bits out on the heat tool. And let's just plug this in. Right, so over at the Global Design Project this week, the challenge is about black and white and adding one other colour. So I'm going to create a little black and white effect. And my colour that I've chosen to go with it, I've chosen a polished pink. I do love a bit of polished pink. So I'm just going to trim this down a little bit. I'm going to trim it down to, I think, 8.5 centimetres. And I want it, so that's the standard width of a card is 10.5 centimetres. I've taken it down by 2, so I now want to take this down to 12.9 centimetres. Okay, so this is my piece. Now I have actually used, this is shimmer white cardstock, so you can't really see it, or you can see it slightly there, you can see it's got a little shimmer to it, but it's very different to basic white and very vanilla in that it's got a porous sort of texture to it. So I'm going to start by just spritzing my card. And what that does is that just adds some moisture to the card to get us to be able to start watercolouring. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm giving my ink pad a really good squidge. Very technical term there. And what that does, or what that should do, is that should transfer the ink from the ink pad onto the lid of the set. Okay, and then we're going to take some water like so, and I have some water painters in there. Okay, so this water was clear and I've been doing some watercolouring, so I'm just going to take my water, and I want to make this quite diluted, so I've had quite a bit of water there. And then all I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to use the back of a post-it note to hold this down. I'm going to add my watercolour. Okay. So you get a really nice effect there. And we're just adding a wash of colour to get us started. And the trick with watercolouring, what I find, is to dry your cardstock between each layer of ink. I'm just going to take my heat tool and I'm just going to dry that. Now I haven't used much water at all yet, so that it won't need a lot of drying. So I'll just bring that up to the camera. You can see that's a really nice consistent wash of colour, and we're going to change that slightly. I'm just going to close my ink pad again, give it another really good squidge. Okay, and then I'm going to add more water. Evening to you, Sandra. We are just doing a spot of watercolouring. Okay. So we're going to dry again. And this is where you start to get the different textures in your watercolour image. Okay. I've always been quite scared of watercolouring, but actually when you break it down and take your time with it, it's really quite effective. Okay, so you can see this is now starting to build. I'm just going to go in with more ink. Okay, so this wouldn't work on Whisper White card because it's not a porous card. It's really smooth, which is why when you stamp on it, you get a really nice smooth image. And when you colour on it with the blends, for example, the ink kind of, it soaks through, but it doesn't really go anywhere. Going to take a little bit more. It's one of those techniques that you can just get a little bit lost in. So I now want to try and lose a little bit of this line here. And this line up here. There. I'm really pleased with how this is coming together now. Oh, lovely bit of bingo, Maria. How nice. I hope you let us know if you won. It's always nice to know if people win at bingo. I do love a bit of bingo. My incentive trip points are, bless you, they're going really well. I'm about 700 now away from my target, which is exciting. So I'm going to stop now because it's one of those techniques that you really must stop while you're ahead. So there we have our little watercolour background. Okay, I think that's really lovely. I'm quite pleased with that. The colour intensity is quite strong. It's quite a vibrant colour, is polished pink. And we're just going to leave that to dry. We're going to put that to one side. Okay, so for the next bit I need some basic white card. I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. So let's grab our stamp. Now this probably is not going to stick to my block. No, it does, it sticks quite nicely, but let's get a bigger block. 1 of 5, well done you. Yes, I'm getting there, Maria, slowly but surely. It's a marathon, not a sprint, isn't it? So, yes, I'm confident I will get there. But yes, I need all the help I can get still. So, if you're thinking of placing an order, feel free to pop that through on my store to help me with my incentive trip goal that I'm working towards. So we've got polished pink there, haven't we? So let's grab a bit of polished pink here, and I want some basic black. So I'm allowed black and white. So we're going to have black, white and pink baubles. Ready? So I've just got some blends. These are Stampin blends. If you've not seen them before, these are alcohol based inks. They come in most of our colours that we sell our collections in. You get a light style, light tone and a dark tone. I'm just going to add a little bit of colouring here. So this is a really bright pink, but don't worry, we will tone it down in a moment with the dark pen. So now we're going to go in with the dark. Evening to you, Karen. Thanks for joining us tonight. So this is where we get to tone it down a bit. We'll just make that colour that little bit deeper. Okay, so I like to use the light one, and then the dark, and then I'm just going to blend the two colours together. Like so, and we'll just add a little bit of black to the tops. So we've got quite contemporary baubles here. Okay, before we die cut those, and I've got the blends out, I'm going to just add a little bit of ink splattering here, just to layer up that background a little bit more. So I've got the felt tip end, and just be really gentle when you do this because it will damage your nibs. Look, it will split your nibs a little bit, but I don't really use the felt tip at the ends. I only really use the other end. So let's just cut this out now. And this die will go around this quite nicely. Okay. A little bit of blushing. Evening to you, Catherine. Thanks for joining us tonight. In. Okay, so it cuts it out so it looks like this. Let me know what you think. Let's cut two of those out. Even better. Okay, so we have our little baubles now, but actually I think I'd like to add a bit of a what do you call it? Let's start to build the card. Okay, so I am going to go for a basic white card base. And to cut that, let's just bring in my trimmer. So we're going to cut at 10.5 centimetres, like so, turn it round and score at 14.9 centimetres. good. My trimmer's on the floor. Lovely. So there's actually quite a bit of difference in colour between the shimmer white and basic white. So the best thing to do is to add a bit of a layer between them. So I'm going to use black card for that. I'm going to cut this down. Let's have a 9.5 centimetre by 13.9 centimetre layer. Okay, so just by adding that little layer between, it looks a bit better, but actually I don't like that black layer. That matte layer, black matte, is too thick for me. So this measures 8.5, so let's take this up to 8.8, and then that will be 12.9, so 1, 2, 3, so that's 13.2. So this looks much better on that card front, I think. So let's layer these two together. Let's use a little bit of Seal Plus. Sorry you're late. Oh, no worries, lovely. Hope you're doing okay. So we are just doing a little bit of watercolouring this evening. We've created this really nice watercolour background in polished pink ink, and we're joining in with the Global Design Project today. So we've got our little baubles. Okay. It feels like they need to be on something. Does anyone else think that? Or is that just me? What have I got here? Don't want to cover that up. Right, let's stick that on. Like so. And then for our little baubles, let's think about our sentiments. So what sentiments have we got in our stamp set? We have got, may the love of the season warm your home and fill your heart, wishing you Christmas cheer and magical moments that last all year. Or if I think about this lovely heartfelt wishes, we've got this lovely Merry Christmas here. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Merry Christmas this wonderful season. Merry Christmas from our family. So let's think about this stamp, shall we? So Merry Christmas is actually really, really nice. And I think I might put that on a little banner. So let's get our black card again. Let's pop this on a block. And we want to cut this down so that it is the width of our card. So the width of our card is 14.9, isn't it? And let's work out how thick this is. So that is about, let's go for 2.5 centimetres. No, I want it this way, don't I? Whoops. Right, so we have Merry Christmas. So that fits on there quite nicely. Let's do a little bit of heat embossing. Now this will be reliant on me finding my white embossing powder. Here you are. Wasn't too bad, was it? there's the embossing buddy. Right, so let's just give this a little stamp. So I'm just using my Versamark ink pad. It's just like a sticky ink pad. Let's stamp that in the centre. It's roughly in the centre. We will add our white embossing powder. Now, if you have any stragglers or bits that you shouldn't have stamped, that shouldn't be showing, just take a dry paintbrush, just carefully wipe that away. Okay, so it's a really nice Christmas banner. So let's give that a little heat now. So it's just starting to go. Lovely. Quite pleased with that. So now when we put this on our Christmas card, I think that's really effective. So now we need to think about our baubles. So maybe let's just move that down slightly. And then we can just attach that like so. So now, do we think that it needs to stop there? Or does it need to go all the way across? I like it all the way across. What do you think? Let's have a little vote. Just have a little drink. Where's mine? All the way. Thank you, Catherine. I think so too. So I'm just going to lay that on there. I'm not stuck it down fully. We need to think about where these baubles are going. And then we've just got those little baubles about there. What do we think, gang? I think that's quite sweet. I need a new one. So that's quite a nice little Christmas design. Let me know if it's your style, your sort of card. We're just going to bring in some gems. So gems wise, I have some black gems. I don't think polished pink is the way forward. I think that might be polished pink overlay. Now I know that these are retired, but we've probably all got some in our stash, and that's okay. So I'm going to use these. These are the frosted and clear epoxy droplets. I'm going to use the clear ones. Like so. So that is our finished Christmas card front. We just need to deal with the inside. So for the inside, I'm going to do exactly the same as I did for the outside, but without the watercolouring. So this needs to measure 13.2. by 8.8. And then our piece of white for inside needs to measure 12.9 by 8.5. Let's just mount these two together and put this in our card. And this white piece can go on top. And there we have it. We've just got our last little baubles to attach inside. And there we are done. That's my little monochrome Christmas card with a touch of polished pink, using the Whimsy and Wonder stamp set for the baubles and the Heartfelt Wishes stamp set for our sentiment that I have heat embossed right there. So there we have it. That is my card made for you this evening. I hope you enjoyed it. I'd love to see if you have a go at the background. Let me know. If you've got any questions or any comments you'd like to make about the card tonight, please let me know. Always feel free to get in touch if you would like to. That's me done for this week. I will be live again on Tuesday night next week. I have a team event on Saturday with my wider Pinkies team. Can't wait to see you all if you're watching. I won't be home till late as it's quite far away, so I won't be live on Sunday. I'll be live next Tuesday. You can join me on Saturday if you so wish for my regular Stampin' session. It takes place on Zoom. It's open to anyone who wants to join. It's quite literally just a little bit of crafting time together. Join with some crafting or join with a drink and just come for a natter. It would be lovely to see you all. I'll share details of that on this page on Friday afternoon evening. And again, I'd love to see you. Thanks so much for joining me, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your week and I hope to speak to you all very, very soon. Bye for now.